Catch you later, Omos.
It's almost. Wait, have you been talking to that guy? There's no way you can be talking. You don't even speak English, right?
Of course I do.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
Because you never asked.
I got so many
What's
questions.
going on YouTube? It's Sensei in place to be Children, Mr. Andy. Better to give you guys another Raw review for November 16th, 2020, the Go Home Show to Survivor Series. I'm going to make this really quick because I don't feel like being up on this camera talking all along about Raw and giving you a full breakdown because Raw is exhausting, okay? And let's be real. 2 good matches on the show. 2 good matches, of course. They were the championship matches. Everything was the same. Survivor Series is sucked. It's rushed. Everything, and this is supposed to be the Undertaker's final farewell. It has done nothing to get me excited for Survivor Series. I will give it credit when the Raw vs. SmackDown shit is on Survivor Series. It basically they're fighting for nothing. But I will give it to 2017 when they went out and they tried to make this an interesting ass storyline. Remember when at the end when Shane came in there and they did the whole SmackDown invasion out of nowhere and they just can't. And this wasn't even at the Go Home Show. This was at the beginning of the rivalry. And we wasn't even expecting it. They came out and beat the whole Raw roster down in 2017. None of that is here. None. Not saying they had space for it. But honestly, probably could have. But let's just look. The less I talk about it, the better. Miz and Morrison come out and talk to Drew McIntyre. Basically, they are teasing him that, he can cash in and get his Money in the Bank championship. So Drew McIntyre's not walking out the champion, and Randy Orton's not walking out the champion. It's going to be the Miz. We know that's not going to be true because the money match is not Miz versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. Even though they had a good match before, that's just not what the money match is. Okay. We get into a 6-man tag matchup with Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke taking on Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Lana. Final chance for Lana to prove herself on Survivor Series team. First of all, if we're going to Survivor Series, why are we fighting each other since Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are on the same team with Shayna Baszler, Lana, and Nia Jax? Well, most of the time, Mandy Rose is as Nia Jax is beating up Dana Brooke. Mandy Rose comes over. Nia Jax takes her down, puts her arm in an awkward position. So Shayna Baszler steps on it, on the steel steps. So now Mandy Rose is out the equation. Shayna Baszler has a carry Buddha clutch on Asuka, but Lana blind tags herself in, pisses everybody off, tries to go beat Asuka, but she is putting Asuka out. She taps out. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are pissed, and they put her through the announce table for the 9th time in 9 times a week. Not 9 times a week. For the ninth straight week, she gets put to the announce table. Why is Lana even on the Survivor Series team? She probably get eliminated first. Nia Jax probably going to eliminate her by count. About some small drop of her through another announce table at Survivor Series. So then we get backstage. Dana Brooke is concerned about Mandy Rose, and then she gets jumped by Reckoning because why? We don't know. She just gets jumped by Reckoning out of nowhere, aka me and Yim do not like your little skinny booty shorts, and then she gets just jumped in and bro gives her like a foot chest stomp to these crates. Adam Pearce comes on later and says that Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are out of Survivor Series. They cannot compete, and we're going to replace them with Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans. Really? Okay. Whatever. So Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss, and they're going to they call out the Miz tonight, and so Bray Wyatt is going to take on the Miz later on. Time for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. The Hurt Business come out and talk about that they're about to cash in on most of the gold on Raw and put SmackDown out of business. Then the New Day come out there and they do their line. They do the little promo. The promo's good until Kofi does the jerk business stuff. Not funny at all. And we have our matchup. Great match by Cedric and Shelton against the New Day. I knew the New Day was going to win because I wanted to see the New Day versus the Street Profits, but this was still a good match, which tells me after Survivor Series, Hurt Business is going to be the champions. The Hurt Business is going to get them tag team championships, and they're going to carry the United States Championship and tag team championship by the end of 2020. I'm calling it right now. The Hurt Business will have the United States Championship and the Tag Team Championships by the end of the year. Cedric goes on a rampage and goes outside the ropes and overshoots Kofi, but kind of it falls up to the barricade. Does it again, still kind of overshoots it, and then there's a block to the Shelton as he does it for the third time, and then they roll him in there. But there's a roll through by Kofi, and then Shelton gives him a kick, and then Cedric gives him a brain buster. Close call. Xavier breaks it up. Blind tag by New Day. They take out Shelton Benjamin, and they give the double foot stomp backbreaker to Cedric Alexander, and the New Day retain the titles. Like I said, great match, but Hurt Business is gonna have them titles by the end of 2020. Sheamus, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and Braun Strowman's all debating backstage. So AJ Styles comes up there and says, "Look, we got to really get it together for Survivor Series. So what I got here is a warm-up, a tune-up match with Retribution. Are you serious?" And gives them all Raw shirts. Some say they had the USA logo on them. And then his tall guy, Matt Riddle, I forgot what Matt Riddle gives him a nickname, and then he says, don't talk to him. He doesn't speak English. He said, "I do speak English." He said, "Wait, but you talk? I know you speak English." And then he says, "You never asked me." And AJ was like, "I got so many questions." So I thought that was kind of funny. 8-man tag team matchup with the remaining members of Survivor Series team, because the captain AJ Styles is on the announce table, going up against Retribution. And basically, Keith Lee comes in here and dominates Retribution. Retribution is done. This gimmick is stupid. It sucks. Nothing cares about. Nothing's going to come of it. But for some reason, instead of squashing them, there is infighting between everybody. And then all of a sudden, Mustafa Ali gets the roll-up pin on Matt Riddle, and Retribution steals a win here over them. So it breaks the story. Are they going to be prepared for Survivor Series? They'll be just fine. Backstage, Sheamus runs into Drew McIntyre and wants to give him a special gift before his WWE Championship match. It got the Scottish skirt and the sword. I'm not really well versed in the Scottish lore, stuff like that, so you got to forgive me for not knowing the names of these items that he gave Drew McIntyre. Elias has posters around talking about some, what happened to him a couple months ago. Jeff Hardy comes in there and grips him up and talk about saying, "I told you I had nothing to do with that. You're going to stop accusing me for something that I didn't do before. I am guilty of doing something to you." Okay, I'm like, yeah, Elias, just turn the TV, go back and watch the footage. You can see it clearly wasn't Jeff Hardy, but I don't know. WWE just doesn't have good storytelling at all, so it doesn't matter. As we're getting ready, we got Bray Wyatt taking on The Miz, and John Morris is out there, and Bray Wyatt is like, saying, first of all, Nikki Cross comes out to try to convince Alexa Bliss, get away from the Fiend, but then they start fighting, but then when the Fiend comes out, Alexa Bliss is all happy again, and then she's jolly, they all walk to the ring together. So I'm curious to see where this storyline is going to go with Nikki Cross involved in it now. Miz and Bray Wyatt just doing some fighting outside. Bray Wyatt is really getting most of the offense here. John Morrison is trying to distract Bray Wyatt, but Alexa Bliss does a jump onto John Morrison, and they both, she jumps so high, he catches it, and they kind of flip over the barricade. I was like, whoa, I hope both of them are alright. And but then the Miz hits his little clothesline in the corner. Bray Wyatt just stares at him, goes and gets him Sister Abigail. The Miz is done. And then Alexa Bliss is fine. She tight ropes across the barricades, and they go back, and the Fiend stuff comes on. Main event time: Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. In my personal opinion, this match was even better than their Hell in a Cell matchup. And I think this is probably one of the best matches they had. I thought it was a really good matchup, and they really sold it because neither time could the RKO be hit or the Claymore could be hit. That's what I like about those good matches. That those moves are so protected and so powerful that once you hit them, it's a wrap. So you always tease them. The first time Drew McIntyre goes for the Claymore kick, Randy Orton goes down and he flies over him in the ring. So that's the first time. And then he beats up Randy Orton on the outside. Randy Orton gives him the backdrop on the barricade, but Drew McIntyre returns the favor and gives him a backdrop on the announce table where you can actually hear Orton utter the words "God damn" when he hits the table. So it was just like, wow. I don't know if they would have bleeped that out, but I was like, that had to hurt. He goes for try to go for another Claymore kick, but Orton moves and he flies over the announce table to the chair. So once again, we're teasing that he cannot hit the Claymore kick. Same thing with with Randy Orton on the inside with the RKO. But before that, Randy Orton tries to get away, and Adam Pearce says, "No, you're not getting away. There's going to be no disqualification, no count out for this matchup." Randy Orton brings the chair in, do some chair shots to Drew McIntyre, sets up a table on the outside. Randy Orton's on the apron, but Drew McIntyre knocks him down. He falls through the table. They come back in. Drew McIntyre hits the Future Shock DDT, and then he sets up for another Claymore kick. As he's running, Randy Orton hits the Snap Power Slam on him. Great to see that move in a while. I haven't seen that move in a while. He hits the Snap Power Slam on him, and then tries to go for RKO, gets out of it, and then bounces off the ropes. Claymore kick. After that, it's over. Drew McIntyre wins the championship, and the match I want at Survivor Series between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns is going to happen, and I think it was the best move to do it. Like, some of these matches on paper would be kind of good, but just to build a Survivor Series this year sucked, and same thing with The Undertaker sucked. I just hope the show's going to be cool, but it just sucks, to be honest with you. So, that was Raw for me. Other than the two matches, nothing was excited about Raw to me at all. It just... I give it a slight thumbs. It gives a thumbs down for me. Like I said, the two matches were not able enough. Was enough for me to keep the thing, above, a neutral to go to a thumbs up. But that was Raw for me. Post any comments down below. How do you guys feel about Monday Night Raw? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review of it, and hit the subscribe button for more WWE content right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is an instant place to be. Mr. Andy, and the Fan React is out.